Yo, we back. Fuego Beats and a J, and I was Young Guap. You know what I'm saying? Check my man out, Guap TV. That's his joint. He got a media company. He's looking for artists right now. So any state you're in, any country, get at my man. You can get at him on Facebook, facebook.com/Young Guap. Hit my man up. He's doing it big, repping Connecticut. You know what I'm saying? But he's doing real big. He's everywhere right now. And y'all need to get connected. I keep telling y'all, all the artists on here, and Jay, me, Kiki, Egypt, Prophet, all of us, continue to stay connected with us because things are happening and you might get left in the dust if you don't keep paying attention. So, but we talk about this crazy topic of explain it again. No, I'm joking. Basically, if your wife, girlfriend, whatever. You know, a lot of guys say that they want to, have a threesome, and everything. So if your wife says she'll do that, how many dudes would really step up to the plate and actually really do it? And how many would just start questioning things like me? Because I can't see myself just saying, yes, okay. You know what? I remember now, before you get into what we were just talking about before we came back, I wanted to say that my thing is that if you have a fantasy about messing with another, what if the fantasy, like, just say, a guy or whatever, he has a fantasy of messing with a girl. Now he's with a girl that's, normal body shape, nothing big, nothing like that. Within the fantasy, to me, with a guy, including myself, if I had a fantasy like that, wouldn't be with dealing with a girl that's exactly like my wife. It would be like dealing with somebody different. They might have to have triple Z's or, a pinky butt or something like that. You know what I mean? They might have to be like that. It's not going to be the same. So now, would that woman feel, or you as a woman, would you now feel like, damn, he don't like me for real with how I look?
I wouldn't say that I would feel that way, but I probably would be like, okay, well, if this is what you really like, what is it about me that you're with me for? Because, everybody has their, I guess, dream other half. Maybe not other half, but just what they're attracted to. And obviously in a relationship, personality definitely has to be there. It goes beyond just attraction. So, it has to be something in between to really be with that person. But when it comes down to actual appearance, it's one of those things where you're like, well, okay, I don't really understand, but all right.
And that's what I mean by then I feel like then it'll become issues because then it's like, what you mean? I married you. What do you think? And I'm talking about myself because I know how I would react. What are you talking about? You're insecure. What are you talking about that? What don't you like about me? Because I'm attracted to you for more than physical. I'm attracted because most of the time I feel like people get married. Some girls and guys get married to people that they fantasize and want it as far as everything. You might have somebody might have fantasized about meeting a girl that was similar to J-Lo. And a girl might have fantasized of being with, Genuine or something like that. And you happen to meet each other and y'all similar to that. And if it feels what you need. But sometimes the girl meets Shabba Ranks and the guy meets Patra or somebody like that. And it doesn't work out that way. But I was attracted to you to marry you on a different level because there's a lot of women I was attracted to physical that's why I never was because, I'm not saying I wasn't faithful. I almost said that. I was not faithful. You could do anything to make me be like, I don't want to deal with you no more. And I was with people and I liked and all of that. I liked the way they looked and everything. But the least thing I wouldn't do that with. Now with my wife, it wasn't like that. I actually got married despite all the crap that was getting on my nerves. Same thing with me with her. All the stuff I was doing to annoy her. She was able because it was a different bond. What'd you say?
Yeah. I get that part of it. And it's one of those things, like, the attraction level is kind of crazy because, like, and not to put nobody on blast, but my husband's ex-girlfriend was very big. Like,
you did put some on blast. Because now when
well,
anybody listens, I'm just joking with you.
But you know what? But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's how she feels comfortable, then that's cool, you know? And when I had my first, I guess, altercation with her, I just kind of looked at the situation and I was just like, damn, I hope he doesn't expect me to get this big, because that is not in my list of things to do in life. I can't even imagine seeing that size, or, you know, but that's just me, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, okay, obviously there is something more to us than just the whole appearance thing. Now, mind you, you know, I still kind of wonder about that. I'm like, wow, how did you even, but that's besides the point, you know, and of course everybody's attractions are going to be different. Bless you. It's going to be different. So it's not going to be something where...
I muted that so nobody when he said bless you. That's funny. Go ahead.
But I mean, the level of attraction, just, you know, attractions can be fatal. It could be anything. You definitely have the understanding that, yes, it's a good possibility that you're not going to be attracted to the same type of women. I mean, look at it this way. The woman that, you know, I am or that your wife is may not be the woman that she's attracted to. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where, yeah, you may be attracted to something else, but the woman that you're dealing with may not be attracted to a woman like how she is. You know, it could be something simple like, oh, you know, okay, I'm bright skinned, but I don't deal with, you know, light skinned women, or I don't deal with, you know, I like dark skinned girls and I like for them to look like this, you know. So I think before you take the steps to have a threesome, you should definitely knock that conversation out of the way. Well, what do you like? Because the miscommunication in that could be very, very crazy. You know, you're a real small girl and he brings home a big girl, or you're a real big girl and he brings home a small girl. Yeah, you know, it's going to be one of those things. How are you going to feel as a woman dealing with that? But at the same time, as a man, how are you going to deal with it? You know, if you like your women real, you know, like a pear-shaped body, she's real small up top, and you like a girl with a fat ass, and your wife brings home, you know, this huge woman. She got a lot of ass, but she has a lot of everything else too. But that's what she likes, you know. Would you be willing to, you know, she's fulfilling your fantasy in the sense of having two women, but she's going to bring in what she likes, you know. So it's one of those things you definitely have to talk about it. And that goes into what we was talking about during the break, was the whole, what is the word I'm looking for? Just the unfairness. Yeah, the unfairness in the situation. Like I was saying on the radio show, you know, the dude, he wanted to have a threesome. You know, it took him a while, and his wife, he finally convinced her. So she told him, I'll have the threesome, but in return, you have to fulfill my fantasy. Now, he got stoked. He was excited. He wasn't worried about what her fantasy was. I'm guessing because he didn't think it was going to be something far-fetched. But he didn't ask, so she didn't tell. It's one of those don't ask, don't tell. I'm just going to surprise you with this when it comes down to it. Yeah. So they had the threesome. Life was grand. And a couple weeks later, you know, she presented him with her fantasy, which was she wanted to strap on and she wanted to basically dominate him in the situation and fuck him. So it became a problem because, you know, not too many men, or at least will openly express that they're going to let their woman do that, you know. And so, of course, he was against it, and it caused problems in their marriage because she felt like he was being selfish because she fulfilled his fantasy, and in return, he wouldn't fulfill hers. Like, it was a no questions asked, hell no, I'm not doing that, you're crazy. I don't know what you was thinking.
What was that? My bad. I'm sorry. I hope that didn't pick up, yo. This. Go ahead. It was like some came off some like airplane shit. Go ahead though. Yo, this is crazy. I was tripping because I was trying to see where that sound came from. But yeah, go ahead. Finish that.
But I mean, so it was one of those miscommunications within that fantasy situation. And
but
so
You didn't tell, and that's the hard thing that I had with not only just with this sort of thing, but with a lot of people. If you don't say nothing, the person doesn't know. So you can't get mad if I say no. You didn't tell me what the deal was. You're basically asking me to become semi-homosexual. And if that's not me, if I'm not a bisexual man, then you're asking me something that I'm not. I'm telling you, you're asking me for something. Just like if I ask a girl, well, hey, can you sleep with this other girl? That don't necessarily mean if you're going to have a threesome, that don't necessarily mean y'all got to touch each other. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, if they come to me saying, hey, can we have a threesome with another dude? I'm going to snap and it's going to be a wrap. There's going to be some fireworks with that because I ain't doing nah. And I know everybody might come at me about that, but I don't care because I'm not doing it. Yes, I'm going to be selfish. I don't give a damn about that. But yeah, you had somebody strap on. Like that's totally, like that's wild. And don't get me wrong. You know, the dude might get convinced. And he won't tell nobody, but he might. But I mean, that's what I'm saying because it becomes more. So then you got to ask yourself, like you said earlier, is it worth it? You know, look at the pros and the cons. The pros is I get to fulfill my fantasy. Okay, the cons, do that outweigh it? Now, of course, in a situation if you're married, I feel like the cons outweigh that. That's just this is just me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you just have a girlfriend, just somebody that you like spending time with or a guy, it really doesn't then because, you know what I'm saying, that other one you slept with may be the one that you know, and it could be just a friend. You know, it could be just a friend. It could be somebody like your best friend or whatever. Now, what got me, I'll tell you this off. I don't want to talk. This is ridiculous. But anyway, you know, it could be somebody like that. It don't have to be necessarily a stranger. Usually it is though. When I've had, you know, people tell me when they've done things like this, it was a stranger because then you see each other. If you do have a problem with that, you ain't never got to see that person ever again. You know what I'm saying? Versus, you know, this is your, you know, best friend that you always got to see. And that might cause a fallout, you know. You know what I'm saying?
And it's crazy because one of my girlfriends, she told me, you know, she was thinking about doing that with her boyfriend, and they've been together for about 4 years. 4 years. So I mean, to me, that's pretty much marriage. That's a long time to just be boyfriend and girlfriend. Y'all might as well be married. You live together and everything else like that. You basically are living a married lifestyle. But she was like, you know, I've been thinking about it, and and she's not bisexual or lesbian or anything like that. But I think he presented it to her one time, or they had talked about it, and she was just like, you know, I would do it, but it would have to be like we'd go out of town and, you know, meet somebody random and do it there and then come back home, so that way there is no chance of us, or a slim to none chance of us running into her. And it wouldn't be able to have no feelings about, like, yes, she may have blown his mind, but there's no way to contact her or anything like that. I was like, okay, I mean, this seems fair, I guess, if that's what you guys agree on. But like I had told her, you know, you have to think about how are you going to feel that next morning? How are you going to feel about the situation? Is it something that, you know, if he likes it that much, is he going to always want to, you know, have a threesome? Are y'all going to be taking trips out of town every other weekend? You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you going to feel about that? And, you know, she's pretty confident about her sexuality. So that's not something she's really concerned herself with, but it is one of those things you do have to think about because it can change the dynamic of the relationship. It's just one of those things where I just really wanted to know, you know, when it comes down to it, men, are y'all willing to just do it? You know, like when it comes down, because everybody said, oh, you know, I'm going to do this. But I have seen a lot of men bitch up when it comes down to the actual act of, I got to go.
I'm one of them. I'm going to tell you straight up, and I don't give a damn what dudes say. I'm one of them when I'm married. If it was a situation, as I said, if I'm single and we chilling at a party or something, I can't say I ain't never done things and stuff like that. I ain't never say that. I can't say that. And I can't say I wouldn't. But if as far as my wife goes, that might be an issue because then every night, you know, she might be thinking, or I might be thinking, damn, I like that joint, man. This girl was totally different. Like, she was so this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? And then, I'm telling you, and then and she might be like, you know what? Damn, I did like that. You know, and maybe I could talk to her deeper. And then it might go deeper. But if you are married and decide to do whatever you do, now I'm saying my cons outweigh the pros, but I would go out of town or even country, and I would just do whatever I gotta do, and then that's it. And then, like that. You know what I'm saying? And then that's that right there. But I want y'all to comment on this. You know, I told somebody on my Facebook just now, make sure they comment on this joint about this, because I want to hear all angles. I want to hear married couples. I want to hear, you know, black, white, Hispanic, Indian, you know, everything. I want to hear every different culture, how they feel about it, because some cultures, obviously, they really into, you know, stuff like that, and some aren't. You know, some are just straight like, nah, we will, you know, behead you and shit like that if you even think about something like that. So, and I ain't calling nobody out. So my thing is that, you know, I want everybody to comment. So you can comment on Jay's page. Tell them what's up with your page again.
Oh, it is Jai Queens of Block, Rhino, Vixen, Underbridge Kids. And you could definitely check me out. Hit me up. Yeah. I had to put everything that I was involved in on there because, you know, cool. It's one of those things I can't leave anything untouched. So definitely hit me up. You can hit me with a friend request. You can hit me with a message if you feel, because, you know, some people are a little more conservative. So if you don't want to express your views openly, you can send me a private message, and, you know, we can kind of talk it out from there. I ain't gonna put nobody all the way on blast or nothing like that. But friend request me, you can, you know, post it on my page. I definitely love any thoughts and opinions. You know, that's what makes the world go round. So
exactly,
I would never be greater if I didn't know what y'all was thinking out there.
No doubt, no doubt. And comment on the YouTube page, you know, youtube.com/Mr. Fuego Beats. Comment on the Facebook, Fuego Beats, Mr. Fuego Beats on Twitter. You know, we going in this week on this topic hard. I want to hear by the end of the week, I want this topic to be dead and buried, but I want it to be, it's actually not going to be, because I'm going to revisit this later on and see what's up, see what people got to say about it and everything then. You know, because some people that are single now might be about to get in a relationship, or if they're in a relationship, they might start, you know, they might be married by then. So we're going to revisit it, but we're going to go to a track, and we're going to be back again.
Shout out to the legends. L, DMX, Red Meth. Yeah. Are y'all ready? Y'all ready? Yeah! Okay. Hey everybody, people, how you doing? Named Josiah, one half of the movement. Came from the sewers and rose on some new shit. Yeah, I'm a nice guy, but flow so vicious. Straight off the benches, lost all my senses, lost all my patience with all this waiting. So I went raving, created my pavement. Hits of a block, and we good like Megan. Forget the mention, I am the president. Create a murder scene, then leave with some evidence. Spit a 16 like a veteran, I murdered them. Rookie of the year, yeah, nigga, Blake Griffin them. Yeah, I ended them, they sweet like cinnamon. Why race one when you could race all 10 of them? Dressed like Ben in them, black and yellow, not a piss fan, just killing them in every level. Never settle for metal when you got a 16 that'll cool up the devil. I'm a bad mark, can you see the traction? Never was cocky with the flow, it just happened. Nah, he was ransom, told me switch the style up. Aim for the sky, now watch the haters pile up. Soul survivor, so I can never ever sell out. Y'all Titanic with the flow, y'all bell out. Why just bell out? Was word just spread out that y'all can't deliver, y'all can't even mel out. While I mel out with a quick package, tick tick boom, no ad-lib, blah. I just closed the door to the booth, now I'm going in. And just probably thinking, nigga, here we go again. When you hear my voice, you know it's a threat. Vocals hit the track and the beat get impressed. You wanna battle? Go. I ain't tripping. Was a little rusty, but your ass now I'm itching. Who write your rhymes for you, nigga? Cause they worthless. I got plenty verses that you should probably purchase. When I ghost write, you know who's better. For a 16, I should charge by the letter. We can put money on it, but you always underbet. Backing out your deal, and I ain't said a number yet. You can hit them all, buy about 100 vests, but compared to me, you still look underdressed. The type of artist that many can't rank, cause I make them see pictures that Picasso can't paint. I'm on the beach when your record sales plummet. I'm tanning, my abs are like Leonidas' stomach. I carry different money round every time I reload, so even my bathwater is San Pellegrino. Talking about coke, how you got it by the kilo. I seen your account, there's nothing in it, zero. Paparazzis love me trying to catch you when I fly. I'm going to Dubai, bye. You're probably getting high, spending all your money before you die. I couldn't even do it if I tried. Pastors love me every time I arrive, cause they know I take a church out of debt when I tithe. Every single day, it's NBA Live. Wipe my nuts with a 20, what I do with the 5? I do it big and buy me a gold vault and raise the bar, nigga.